What led you into healing?
Well, initially it's really about me.
Always is.
Yeah, I actually took my first yoga class in inpatient rehab. When I was getting treatment for depression, PTSD, eating disorder, a long array of things where I was really trying to cope with life, modern life, trauma, etc. And I think as for me, really, as I was exploring my own journey on who am I, who do I want to be, what am I doing in this world, that's how I felt like everything became more clear for me to start on this journey. When I started, I did not think I would be teaching, offering, sharing necessarily. It was just really like, how do I help myself and survive and function in this world?
Yeah.
And then that's how it got started more than 15 years ago, and went from there. How about you? How did your healing journey?
Very similar, actually, where we got hit by a car crossing the street, went to physical therapists and chiropractors and all the mainstream stuff because I was more mainstream back then. Nothing was working. Nothing at all was ever working. So I wound up going to my boyfriend at the time, brought me to a yoga class, and I remember hearing the yoga teacher talking and then just being like, I need to know what she knows. She's smarter than me and I hate being in a room with someone smarter than me. So yeah, that led me to, and I knew that there was too much stimulation in the room in a yoga class, because after getting hit by a car, it's like your body is just hypersensitive to everything. So being in a yoga room was way too much stimulation. So I put down, I was working for a website design, development, and search engine optimization company at the time. And I had plenty of money, so I put down $3,000 on a yoga teacher training, never wanting to teach.
Exactly.
Like literally thinking yoga teachers were such weirdos.
Yeah.
And then now then the rest is history. Then ended up going into that TT and realizing that they didn't know what the woman in the room knew. And then so I ended up in India within a few months and studying in an ashram and doing the whole kit and caboodle. So the question I have for you regarding tapping in at a rehab center, what was your practice like after that? Did you kind of fall in love with the practice right away? Did you, dabble in and out? I know all of our journeys.
Yeah, it was gradual for me. I think in that class, what you shared that really resonated was the feeling of nothing else worked. I'm one of those people that is like, okay, well, let me try this. And I feel like, especially living in this modern world where we learn along the way on if I get this title, if I get this amount of money, if I just become fill in the blank, right?
Yeah.
The next thing, well, that of course is going to work, right? And I felt like for so long, I kept trying. Okay, is it this? Is it that? And then for the first time, finally, when for me it was really, many people talk about those rock bottoms moment. For you, it came in the shape of the car and many other forms.
Well, I think we both know though that for anybody watching, there's 1,000 rock bottoms.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not necessarily, better or worse, or it has to come in a specific shape or size or format. But I feel like for me at that point in my life was really everything was falling apart, right?
Yeah.
Where it was the beginning of a new chapter, new journey for me, and yoga was definitely a part of it. So when I took that first class, hesitantly, because I've been told you're really high strung, yoga would really help, and I ignored that for years.
Sure.
And finally, when I was in treatment, I was like, okay, not too much to do. Why not give it a try? For the first time, and it might be less than a minute, I just felt this sense of like, oh my gosh, I'm actually breathing, and I didn't realize that I have been in this, like mind loop, right? That we now, as we continue on our yoga and healing journey, that it doesn't have to be like this. So that was what really something that I connected with deeply. And then after my treatment, I continue to find different studios to see what type of classes that I like. And then I took my first yoga teacher training in Asia, in Hong Kong, with the Hatha tradition. And then began to deepen and deepen, as you mentioned, right? It's like, okay, well, especially in the beginning of the journey, it's like, okay, I want to know more. And then I thought, it's okay, well, 200 hours, that sounds like a lot. I'm gonna learn all I need to know, even though, like
5,000-year-old tradition.
Right, yeah, 200 hours is a lot. And at that time, right, like you said, it's a significant investment, right? In time, in money, and it was, like you, I didn't plan to teach. So it was a very, very significant investment. Like I just really felt called to deepen my own immersion, my own learning, and from there continue to different modalities, Reiki, energy, sound healing that really called to me, and then additional yoga training, especially focusing on the 𝕤𝕟𝕤𝕤𝕠𝕟 philosophy, traditions, restorative. For me, as I continue on my own journey, I was really called to especially work more with calming the nervous system and just helping us deal with whether it's day-to-day stress or trauma, or just like how do we find our best selves and live in this world in peace.
It's funny because we have never talked about this, but I'm feeling called to bring it up. Like for you have really been more on the yin side of the practice and calming the nervous system, where I've really more been on the yang side of the practice and doing your best as you are today.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting because you even went around to it becoming how do you become your best self, and for me it's I'm doing my best, how do I become calm while doing my best.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to do that circle around instead.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the questions for you is, let's talk about share how did we meet, and how do we get to know each other, and how do we complement each other?